Eva Vlad, Eva non-vampire. Whatever. Right, sod it. I don't really play Vlad as much as I would say play the other champions I have, but it's still part of my repertoire purely because it's if all else fails, you have something to actually fight someone with. And I would just like to point one of the two things out, which is that Anivia, really squishy, but a good one will make sure that you can never close with her if you don't have a gap closer. And this is the thing, I like sort of as I go through the game, I sort of think about ways I can bypass her defenses, but unfortunately because I'm taking this learning experience more than anything, I don't really play that many Anivias, don't see that many anymore. It is a bit new to me, and for the life of me, I have major trouble dodging really slow skill shots. Ari, no problem. Brand, generally less of an issue. Anivia Q, Morgana Q, it's just... I don't know. I walk into so many. It's ridiculous. But the thing is though, at least the way I play Vlad, it's just... like what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. But it's just... At least you can stay in lane when all else fails. But the thing is, Anivia realizes eventually that I'm deathly afraid of getting smacked by that Q because I just don't trust myself to dodge it, and will pretty much stay amongst the minions so that if I want to close into last hit, then she'll chuck one at me. The only issue is once she misses it, then she has to run away, and later I'm going to start dodging them again. I don't know what clicks in place. I just dodge them again later. Then it changes, but until then it's... I don't know. My Vlad mid is pretty much like Leslie would probably play mid. It was just, let's just AFK farm 24/7. But Malphite comes through the middle as opposed to coming from behind, and then maybe it's just barely hitting me with water attacks because why not? And I can't dodge for shit because hey, dodging's for pros. But no, my Vlad is generally AFK farm Vlad. Not really much I can do about it. No, I was aware that Anivia has real trouble CSing under the tower this early. Like, definitely before 6, she has major issues CSing under the tower. And that was one of the instances where I know that her Q's off cooldown, therefore she won't want to use E, so I just move in close to her and combo her. I'm pretty certain that post 6, when she tries REQE, the way around it is to move forwards to her. When she throws E, you pull it, EQ, and then just keep wailing on her face because your cooldown is so much shorter than actually shorter than hers at 9 or so. Like, you could probably fight that, but it's still experimentation. But right now, like, I'm trying to shove it under the tower and watch her fail to CS, or at least force her to give up some, which she is. So, in this instance, who was their jungler? I saw Jarvan bot, which is why I'm so blazingly pushing right now, because I know I'm safe. What else was there? The reason why I took Vlad was in this matchup, we had a bit of a lack of raw damage. Yorick would keep, like, someone alive, but Malphite could initiate, Taric could initiate auras, but we needed someone who had flat out damage. So I took Vlad. Swain just wouldn't cut it when it comes to just the raw damage department, and also Swain doesn't do very well against Anivia, in my opinion. Because there's just no way you can close with her, as I'll show you later. But the other problem I have was getting into a pushing war with Anivia, not a good thing. And like now, she's standing amongst the minions because she, like, it's just as soon as I want to go close, she will just drop R and just smack me over the head. Like in this instance, she's out of mana, which is why I'm happily staying around. But I know she can't kill me, which is why I stuck around there, and I'm being much more brazen about it now. But the problem is, I don't know where Jarvan is, I don't have any wards, so I just want to push this and get the hell out. Which I do. And just run the hell away. Don't know where Jarvan's going. He actually goes all the way around and tries to wait for me to show my face. I think. I really did expect him to gank, and he did. So I wanted him to flag and drag. He didn't, so I just kept moving. And then Anivia wanted to stun me, and that was her only real form of CCing me apart from wall. But either she wouldn't have mana for it, or if she did use wall, there was no way they were going to kill me. So either way, just pulled the major problem, which was a stun. And I don't want to leave the lane at this point because I'm aware of two things. One, Nivi's getting out of mana, and two was that she's going to either go get blue or she'll go out of mana. Either way, I can stay here, push the wave, hopefully force you get back, and just feed it to her turret, which is done. So at this stage, I am actually 10 CS ahead of her, which is not shabby. But I'm also completely out of potions. But I trust that A, she's out of mana, and I can just keep pushing this. But I am getting a little bit paranoid, and I actually should have been much more aggressive about it, because if she tried to waste mana on me, that means she couldn't actually CS the creeps properly. But I take a lot of damage from these creeps, but it was a pretty large wave, so I had to stay here. And she managed to catch up in CS, which isn't so great. There's honestly nothing as overly exciting about me playing Vlad. I don't really have the opportunity to make so many brazen maneuvers because of a lack of CC. It's generally just AFK farm and carry your team later. But she's now happily smacking around my turret, and I am pretty much cringing a bit. And the thing is, though, is that I cannot keep up with this pushing power. Now she's out of mana, I can try to, but generally, It's like I can out-sustain this, yes, but Tara comes to gank, and now we can kill her, because why not? We can just ignore Jarvan pretty much, because Jarvan doesn't really exactly know for doing huge amounts of damage, and as soon as egg pops up, I will pull under it so she can't immediately stun me, and that will be enough to kill her. So we'll go that way, but I wanted to kill Jarvan, but I think he flashes out of it. No, he doesn't, he just flags and drags out of it. Just fine. Probably should have stuck around trying to kill him a bit more, but nah. Better safe than sorry. Like I said, this is more just of a change of pace, and maybe so I can see what the hell I do wrong. As opposed to I'm just trying to AFK push this as hard as I can. I know her egg's down, but I also know that it's going to be one hell of a rough time trying to actually close with her. I'm trying to bait her Q. And as soon as I can do so, I can just go forward and CS, because she will RE me, and I actually used my Ties of Blood way too early. But I know she hasn't got blue, and she would probably end up... I tried queuing the Wraiths, but unfortunately got dragged to Malphite, so I couldn't do anything. I screw up here, because I fully expected her. I should have pulled the stun, I would have been fine. Although, then again, Derek just goes ahead and stuns a minion. No, in this instance, I fully anticipated Anivia, because I'm running back to my tower to queue where I'm about to go to. She doesn't, which props to her, so I just close into a guard and kill her. But at the same time, since she's running out of mana, I thought I could get this, but she manages to stun me, which isn't good. I saw this coming and just didn't think about pulling it. I don't know why, this was my fault, and I died for it. But she dies anyway, which I guess is fine, but I should not have died there. Actually, I might have died anyway, but I'm not sure. All I knew was she out of mana, thought I could tough it out, and I basically made a bad call. And that is the end of that. So Malphite's basically pushing my lane in, so I take his jungle. All's fair. In love and war, blah blah blah. This is the same reason I don't like taking the bot in this video. It's that I can never close with a decent one. And before 6, there's just this awful habit of her getting babysat that I won't be able to make any aggressive maneuvers. I mean, she hates high mobility, gap closing, high burst champions, but right now I'm just content to let her take my tower and just buy my time. . it's same basically Anivia and Cassiopeia. If you can get them in their guard, they are very squishy and take a lot more damage than you think they would. It's just getting there is the irritating part. So I don't know where Anivia's gone. I pinged this as such. I say Anivia's missing. She actually managed to go down, but I think we managed to get away, which is props to her. So I see that and just end up shoving with Lead as hard as I can, so she loses CS. I didn't expect Alpha to go back to the jungle, but he did, so I'll go and nick the rest of his jungle. I don't know. Like I said, this is not overly exciting. This is literally the closest I will ever get to, I guess, playing ADC, AFK farm for ages and ages and ages. I'll be sure to upload one where something more interesting happens later if I can. Like, this is what I don't understand, right? This is where something should have happened. Malphite goes around the side, right? And I'm waiting for him. I'm walking to Anivia, right? Waiting for Malphite to actually do something, and he's not doing anything. Like, okay, we didn't know Jarvan was here, but even if he did, what are you doing? It's taken Malphite 1,000,005 years to actually do something. Like, this would have killed. I was almost certain that this would have killed Anivia. Just Ignite. Let's see what happens. Ignite was burning, and then Lulu shows up. But it might not. It would have killed her. Yeah, it would have killed her. Last tick probably. Last tick or two. But I misjudged that. I didn't. Put it in this way. In previous, right? If Malphite had engaged, I would have been in position and just to do my entire combination, which included Ignite on Hero play, which would have killed him. But the problem was, like, he just didn't. And then by the time he did, I was stunned, so I was out of position and wasn't in range to use Ignite. But it's fine. Yorick was busy carving, chose a new one. I didn't exactly overly lose my lane, but I didn't exactly win it overly hard outright either. It's mostly from AFK farming the jungle. I actually didn't know who was ahead in gold at this point. It's actually even. Did they get a Drake? I don't know. Maybe she got more kind of creep than I did. This is also the reason why people, the junglers, unless you're a high damage jungler like Lee Sin, are loath to gank Vlad lanes. Because if he's on the Vlad team, then Vlad hasn't got CC of his own and doesn't really have the damage early on to really make it worthwhile, or hasn't got the consistent damage of, say, a Riven to do a lot of damage. And if you're against it, then it's just hope you can pray that he's one of the retard Vlad who doesn't make pool at level 2, but just okay farming, not much to it. Besides the ubiquitous revolver on Vlad, my general build is for Leandri's Torment into Rylai's. A, because Leandri's are so bloody sexy, B, because it gives a bit of utility and slowing and just general a bit more of a target that people can't ignore you, because you output so much damage. What happened here was that we had a minor engagement at top. I saw all of them there, which is why I just pushed as hard as I could, but then I had to get out of here before they tried to cut me off. And it's back to farming. Farm.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Honestly, Vlad is one of the... Oh, right, there's a fight of some sort. I sort of misplayed this a bit, but... Did Yorick use it too early? Yorick used it too early. I misplayed that because I was just in the wrong position. But we got the egg off Anivia, which is something, but Vlad, I classify as one of the late game hyper carries, purely due to the huge amounts of damage you can do. Especially if you get to low enough cooldown, fully stacked Tides of Blood with Leandros on 3 seconds is a lot, as we'll see later, where I pick up my game. But I am aware that I can do enough damage early. It's just I'm much more comfortable in my late game than I am with any other champion. Like in that previous instance, I should have been with the team, and that wouldn't have happened. But I wanted to make something. That was back to positioning. Everything's done. Anivia's actually ahead of me at this. Is she ahead of me? She is ahead of me, but I honestly don't care less. And then we get, if I went here, I could have technically pulled it around, but it's too risky, so I took the long way around. I call this playstyle pussy Vlad, but I just try to stay safe as possible and farm as much as I can, get to late game, because, oh, we get a fight going. And I go straight to the back line, because why the hell not? Because Vlad does have a way of getting to the back line, and that is technically cool, and he's floating underneath everybody. But Malphite decides to initiate, so we follow, because why the hell not? If you don't follow, then you're basically screwing your own team over. You have an opportunity, so use it, right? So I'm trying to see if they can group up a little bit more so I can put heal break as many of them as I can. Just threw out Tides of Blood. I should have used Q first, but I didn't. I did use Q first. I EQ'd Lulu because then she would die, and I managed to kill Anivia with another round of EQ after that. So I took out 2 people, which was fine, and that damage made sure that everybody else managed to get out as well. I wouldn't say I did overly well, but I knew how to play my part correctly. And we ace them. Better than expected, but had an opportunity, had a window. You are so reliant on your team to create a window for you in order to output your damage, it's insane. Like Leona, when you play Leona, you hate it when your team doesn't utilize the window you make them. Vlad, you hate it when your team doesn't make your window to utilize. That's how I feel anyway. What else is there? Not a lot. It's the fact that this is the other problem with Vlad is to maximize your damage. You technically want to be in the middle of everyone, so you hit everyone with E. And this Caitlyn has a death of some sort, and keeps getting picked off. If we won due to anything, it's less because of what any of us did, and more because of Caitlyn getting picked off left, right, and center. She flames the jungler for not helping bot lane or something when pretty much everyone agreed that it was her fault. I make a call to go to Baron because we just knocked out the ADC. And I'm aware that I might get caught pretty damn badly. So I just keep someone alive as best I can, but then Yorick ults me, so I just keep the chase on and continue trying to hit people. Unfortunately, I then discovered, right, because I'm not exactly, I think it might be the first time when Yorick ghosted, was that I can't use summoners during ghost duration, which I guess is fair enough, but it allowed me to continue outputting damage, and we managed to get kills. We managed to rob the egg of Anivia, we killed 4, we lost 2. I mean, these fights are still in our favour, so all's fair. What's the next thing I get? The next thing I get is to get Spirit Visage or some sort of cooldown. I mean, in this team comp, I could technically get away with getting blue buff because technically no one else really needs it. But it's in order to get these 2, or at least one of them, generally you want to get Tides of Blood as close to 3 seconds as possible, just to maximize Leandri's procs, which I duly get. that knocks it down to 3.46. With blue buff, they'll definitely be below 3.46, and I generally get Ionians with these as well, so I'm not reliant on blue buff. Because in most cases, you'll have a man, so some caster who benefit from it more. But this also then gives me a nice chunk of MR to deal with Anivia. But they do not exactly shabby on magic damage, like 1, 2, technically Lulu, but don't really count. So 2 counter magic damage, not exactly going to be wasted. Other choices I get. I have numerous builds for Vlad. One of them is that full penetration build. It's just, in this instance, I thought Cho'Gath was bound to have a fair amount of health. Jarvan will probably build a fair amount of health. And, oh, did I mention Caitlyn gets caught again? I mean, positioning wise, this was... What does she do? Look, here she is. She's poking her head around near the front and meets us head on. It's, I guess she wanted to kill the minion? No, not minion, the ward, but she was really out of position, and from the beginning of the fight, she really lost most of her HP, and then spent a lot of it not actually being able to do anything. So what happened to the rest of us was, I managed to get multiple people, which is good enough. I then eliminate Anivia. What's Anivia's chief hate? Anivia's chief hate is being CC'd as soon as she uses Glacial Storm. Especially if you're Leona, you're pretty much, I count that as a hard counter to Anivia actually, because your Q is pretty much the same cooldown, if not less, than the Glacial Storm, and you just sit on her face. Every time she uses it, you just stun her and make her cry. So once that's done, Jarvan's helping, can't really do much about that, and it's just clear up duty. Pop goes, I use the Q, because Q with 35% slow is bloody beefy. She uses Baron and gets baited by it, but I don't care, she's dead anyway. I lose vision, so I can't Q her, but oh well, that's fine. Like TLDR, my playstyle of Vlad is generally AFK farm for as long as possible, buy big items, and be an ass in the team fight. You still have to be wary of positioning, because, like I said earlier, whilst you want to be in the middle of everyone in order to maximize damage from your E, it also then it makes you 10 times more vulnerable. Because obviously since you're in the middle of everyone, they're also more easily able to kill you. I mean, you can rectify this sort of with Judicious, Pool, and Zhonya's usage, which is why I love Zhonya's and Vlad so much. It's just in this type of build, I don't get it until much later, because I'm actually maximizing damage as hard as possible, since we lack it. Until I'm pretty much the main source of damage, along with Graves, but he's single target, and I get in the middle of everyone and do much more. I'm not surprised that I do most at this point, but being in a position where you can, it's almost the same deal as Swain, being in a position where you can do a lot of damage and be an ass, but at the same time not being in such a position that you get completely murdered by being focused down. The other thing is, and like for other Vlad players, is you need to remember to maintain your stacks, because not having full and powered stacks in Tides of Blood is quite critical. As in, if you just didn't have Tides of Blood, you would do, well, this one states like 320 base, not 320, 320 by itself. And then if you have maximum Tides of Blood, that's plus 100%. Okay, it's on the base damages, but it's still, what, 50% extra damage? Oh, Caitlyn gets caught again. This is exactly what I mean by Caitlyn wins us the game, or loses them the game, with her absolutely atrocious positioning. Or maybe it's props to Malphite, like, look at where she is compared to everybody else. Maybe it's because of AD carries wanting the farm, and then props to Graves for actually taking advantage of kind of lower and new one. So it's now already 45, and they have to surrender the turret. Vlad also hates silences, just as much as any other caster. Because if he can't cast, he can't heal himself. If he can't heal himself, then he can't pull. Not he can't pull, but if he can't pull, then he's just running around looking very, very stupid. I am now a vampire cupcake. The other thing was 35% slow is so meaty that it does actually help a bit with healing. And also, with this build, I have almost 4,000 HP and Pool does a hilarious amount of damage. Surprisingly enough. Considering how you can't be targeted in it, I actually quite like. I didn't realize how much damage Pool did until I actually murdered Anivia with it, but how that works? Fuck logic. I'm a Pool on the ground, she's flying, and somehow it still affects her. Maybe the smell? I don't know.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
La 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 da 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 da. We want to set up a Baron, and we pink what everything. So then push out the lines, pushing. And then Malphite comes around the back because Caitlyn is, don't know what the fuck she's doing. So it's a 4v5 and we fight it. Although actually we almost completely fucked this up. But we decided to fight this anyway. Because I had tower aggro on me. Zonya's that, I pulled it and just kept going. And Caitlyn can't kill me. Dies as well. Everybody dies. All's good. All's fun. No. Honestly wish there could be more things to say, but in this instance it's just this is more me trying to like wonder what I'm doing with Vlad. And I'm sure later on when I find a better game with Vlad where I can probably say I carried, I'll probably upload that as well, but it was just a change of pace. So TLDR, AFK farm, win. GG, have fun I guess.